Good evening and welcome back to 49 News. For our second show of the 2023 fall semester, I'm Serafina Carollo.
And I'm Mike Malazzi. Tonight, we will be taking a look at things happening on and around UD's campus, while also taking a step back for some worldwide views. 49 News starts right now.
3 people are facing charges following a Newcastle County police investigation into suspected sales of methamphetamine and 3D printed firearms throughout Newcastle County. According to police, 39 guns were seized, including 5 3D printed guns, 7 silencers, crystal meth, marijuana, and items consistent with the printing of firearms and packaging of drugs. Investigators recently carried out the search warrants at 2 homes in Townsend. President Joe Biden announced last week that the University of Delaware is now one of the 7 hubs, a part of the Mid-Atlantic Hydrogen Hub. The program, which is funded by $7 billion, aims to develop and produce hydrogen fuel. Biden hopes to have net zero greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. by 2050, and the hubs will help foster this by replacing fossil fuels with cleaner hydrogen energy. According to President Dennis Asanis, working together, we will provide new educational and research opportunities for our students and grow our region's skilled workforce. The new 4+1 master's degree in electrochemical engineering will help further these goals. Starting as an intern is a rite of passage that offers a leadway into any industry by learning the ropes and meeting connections. UD students recently shared their own experiences at an internship symposium last week. Casey Nyman reports.
For many, their college years are spent preparing for the workforce and taking courses to gain knowledge about their chosen fields. However, it's truly what's beyond the classroom that benefits resumes the most. Things such as internships, jobs, and clubs are the experiences that help students make the most of their 4 years. This fact is something that the College of Arts and Sciences tries to promote through its multitude of services. In efforts to showcase the wide array of student achievements on campus, they hosted an internship symposium this past Wednesday, October 11th in Monroe Hall.
This is the CAS Internship Symposium, which features interns from the previous summer and academic year sharing about their experience for the benefit of other students.
The symposium was a mixture of about 30 PowerPoint presentations and poster demonstrations, all focused on their unique summer opportunities. Each student presenting came from different backgrounds, majors, and interests, so there was a lot to learn from. For junior art history major Jacob Lantino, his summer was spent peacefully working for the Hammond Museum and Japanese Stroll Garden in Salem, New York.
Being able to handle the artwork and start cataloging it and work with the curators and the actual artists, and then being able to give the people that bought the artwork after the exhibit had ended was absolutely fantastic.
While other students, such as Sean Taggart, a senior international relations major, enjoyed the hustle and bustle of meeting government officials and exploring Washington, D.C. Interning alongside Delaware Senator Chris Coons, Sean made the most of his summer.
It was a very rewarding experience. I was doing everything from answering the phones to sitting in on staff meetings and attending congressional hearings.
Business savvy senior communication major Gabriella Gooden took her passion for fashion in New York City and interned at Ross in collaboration with the Black Retail Action Group.
I was an assistant buyer intern under Pearl's Toys, so I got to work with Barbie, Squishmallows, Play-Doh. Just got to work with a lot of small dolls and fashion dolls too.
There's no doubt that these students are well prepared and on the way to bright futures. But for those lower classmen wondering where to even begin, it can be scary. While scoring an internship may seem like a pretty intimidating endeavor, these students had a few tips and tricks.
Well, first off, stay on your email. You got to be ready to get that email back. Also, talk to your advisor and make sure your resume is down pat.
Wherever you land is where you're meant to be. Just because you don't get into one place that you really hope to, it's okay that something else will work out.
Try everything. Don't be disappointed if you don't get something. Spread your web wide.
Go for it, because the internship will give you that real world experience where you'll actually be able to figure out outside of the classroom, oh, is this really what I want to do or not?
This symposium was a great opportunity to learn more about what unlimited experiences are at hand. Not only was there lots to learn and networking amongst fellow peers, but it came with the reward of some sweet U-Dairy treats. For those unable to make this particular event, the Student Success Center for the College of Arts and Sciences is a great place to start when searching for more advice and guidance. With personable advisors to reach out to and more events to come, real-world class lessons are always in session. Reporting for 49 News, I'm Casey Nyman.
The University of Delaware is now offering a new graduate certificate focused on artificial intelligence. Since AI is becoming more and more common across the professional world, UD has decided to get ahead of the curve. This new graduate certificate will allow students to take advanced courses in order to prepare themselves for AI-oriented careers. According to Professor Kathy McCoy and Associate Professor Sunita Chandrasekaran, the program will offer expert faculty, cutting-edge technology, and extensive resources to prepare students for the future. UD expects to start implementing these courses as soon as summer 2024. The University of Delaware's Center for Intercultural Engagement had its grand opening earlier this month. Located on the second floor of the Perkins Student Center, this area provides a safe space for first-generation students, students in the LGBTQ+ community, and many other minority student groups. While the center has a lounge for students to relax, meet new people, and get some work done, it also has designated spaces to fulfill various student needs, such as an interfaith meditation and prayer room, the clothing coop, and a food pantry available to students. This past Thursday, students came together to attend a candlelight vigil on the Green in support of Israel amid the ongoing conflict and tragedies. Serafina Carolla reports.
Last week, terrorist group Hamas launched a murderous attack on Israel, killing hundreds of Jewish civilians, including children and infants. Jewish organizations on campus put together a candlelight vigil inviting students from all backgrounds to come together to pray for the safe return of hostages, mourn the lives lost, and to show solidarity with Israel.
When the fighting broke out, when the terror attack happened on Saturday morning, we knew our students would have friends and family. We're all connected. It's our Jewish homeland, so everybody knows somebody. And we knew that the campus would be connected, and we felt like it was an important part for the community to come together and to be here for one another, to support each other, to show solidarity for Israel, and to be part of this campus.
Credit definitely goes to Hillel and Chabad and all their student leaders for coming together. And the real intent was to show the solidarity on campus for the Jewish community, and I think really to give people a visual representation of looking around and really getting a sense like I'm not alone if you're a student who carries that identity, for sure. Yeah.
This vigil is not the only effort UD has put forth to help students through this dark time.
So the last few days, where we've really focused on is creating spaces where various students can come together, process this stuff. We've had counselors, we've had staff available. We've done it in different locations and with different groups. So I think we'll likely do more of that.
After this vigil, I spoke to students in attendance to hear their feelings about the current events and why supporting each other in this time of need means so much.
So it's kind of important for all of us, like as the Jewish people, to come together and kind of like show the world and show everyone that we're united, and that like stuff like Hamas and horrific events like won't make us won't like tear us down, and we'll always be together.
If you look back at 75 years ago, the Holocaust was going on. The fact that gas chambers and people dying was something that was going on 75 years ago, and now we have statistics saying that the most amount of people have died in Israel since that horrific event should wake people up. You would think that the Holocaust alone would wake people up from Jewish people dying, but it still hasn't. And they try to confirm that everything that's going on in Israel is Israel's fault. And the fact that this blaming is still going on is just blatantly anti-Semitic tropes that have continued on for thousands of years, and we won't stand for it.
In the face of such tragedy, students express that support from their community is crucial.
I think we need to listen to each other. I think we need to spend more time listening, less time behind social media and on your phones, and look up, look around, and be a part of the community and do more listening. It's important for Jewish students to feel supported, for them to understand that this campus is a safe place for Jewish students.
The vigil garnered attendance from many, making this a great display of unity on campus. From 49 News, I'm Serafina Carollo.
I'm Emma Schneider with your political update. Elaborating on the situation in Israel, this conflict is very complex and has a timeline of over 75 years. In the past 10 days of this conflict, there has been over 1 million people displaced and over 3,000 people have died in the Gaza Strip. The conflict has been going on since militants from Gaza fired thousands of rockets towards Israel towns on October 7th. After the heavily fortified surroundings of Israel were broken, Hamas gunmen killed over 1,400 people and took over 200 hostages. In response, Israel declared war and between the dates of October 7th and 12th dropped 6,000 bombs within Gaza, which is one of the most densely populated areas on Earth. In addition, they have also ordered a complete siege on the area of Gaza and have blocked the delivery of electricity, food, fuel, and water until the hostages have been released. With the siege on Gaza, the United Nations has called for the humanitarian aid for the Gaza Strip. Today, on October 18th, President Joe Biden made an official visit to Israel to support them and find a way to get humanitarian aid to Gaza. He has made a deal to get $100 million worth of supplies into Gaza by Friday. After former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy was removed from office at the beginning of this month, there has been no clear alternative. The first ballot for the new Speaker was taken yesterday with no result. Today there was a second vote taken with, again, no result. The current frontrunner is Ohio Republican Jim Jordan, but with holdouts still among the Republican Party, it is hard to say when this will be resolved. He has lost more votes in the second ballot from his own party. Hopefully a decision will be made soon, since with no Speaker, all work in the House of Representatives has been halted. This is not an ideal situation since the House is expected to help with decisions on budget as well as handle the situations in Ukraine and Israel. On Monday, a gag order was imposed on former President Donald Trump, limiting what he can say about the federal charges he is facing in relation to his alleged attempt to overturn the 2020 presidential election. This order restricts the former president's ability to publicly target court personnel or potential witnesses. The judge who imposed the order stated that the order is not about whether she likes Mr. Trump's language, but about the language he is using that presents a danger to the administration of justice. Eric Hansen, a Delaware businessman and political outsider, has announced his candidacy for the Republican Party for the U.S. Senate in Delaware. This announcement comes as Senator Tom Carper announced he would not seek re-election. Democrat U.S. Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester is running on the Democrat side. The state's primary is scheduled for April 2nd, 2024. With more Delaware news, here's Mike.
Last Friday at 10:30 p.m., a burglary was attempted in the 200 block of Haines Street. 42-year-old Andre Johnson attempted to enter the home through the back porch while wearing a mask over his face. He was unable to enter, and the resident was able to give a description of the suspect. He was later located by members of the Plainclothes Street Crimes Unit on East Chestnut Hill Road. Johnson was charged with attempted first-degree burglary and was jailed after failing to pay the $13,000 secured bail. It is with heavy hearts that we report the death of student Daniel Baksick of Barnegat, New Jersey. Just before 3 a.m. on September 29th, Baksick was involved in a fatal car accident while biking northbound on Delaware Avenue and was pronounced dead at the scene. The 24-year-old minivan driver involved in the accident remained at the scene. According to the police investigation, the driver was neither impaired nor speeding at the time of the accident. We will be right back after this commercial.
49 News starts right now.
I'm Emma Schneider here with your entertainment news.
I'm Laura Daly here with this week's weather update. We could see the clouds are moving in to the area as the night progresses.
I went out to find out what students really think.
Let's see what students at the University of Delaware have to say.
Here's what you can do to keep yourself safe during this holiday season.
Sadly, that is all we have for you tonight on 49 News.
It's back. We're back.
Penn Sport Night, your University of Delaware sports broadcasting show.
That team from Boston. Just because they got a leprechaun don't mean they're going to be lucky.
How has your experience been playing field hockey here?
How magical was the beginning of the season for you guys?
Who are you rooting for this World Cup?
Probably the USA or Scotland.
Watch the play. I don't think I've seen it though. Yeah, you can't guard them. That's not your body.
It's her first time in 10 years. So we're like kind of at the same level.
Welcome to Real Talk.
What is the best Halloween candy?
You had to play a song every time you came into the room. What song would it be?
This movie's bonkers. Let's get right into that.
Yeah. Do you guys like pickles?
No. I love pickles. I'm so excited.
You see Kanye West as this icon, as this person, and he said some anti-Semitic things. So it's like, how do you deal with it?
There's nothing scarier than a student-run television show with an audience of 13.
Do you mean bi-weekly?
Devontae looks stunning.
What? I don't want to hold you back.
Ow!
What now?
McKinley! Shut the hell up!
Let me just leave these babies here, Ricky, while I head on up to the saloon for the hour. I'm just gonna.
I've been your host, Lauren Gapp, and this is a bi-weekly show.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Laura Daly with your weather update for the week. Right now we are sitting at 51 degrees and cooling down a bit from the beautiful fall weather we had earlier today. It was partly cloudy throughout the day, but now the clouds are clearing out. There's barely any wind and a fairly low dew point, keeping us nice and dry. Taking a look at the national satellite and radar from this evening, we could see that most of the country is dry except for a line of storms in the Midwest from this beautiful mid-latitude cyclone that's holding its rotation quite well. We can see that Delaware is partly cloudy, but no rain in sight. Taking a look at the tropics, the activity is definitely dying down a bit, with only about a month left of hurricane season. It's becoming increasingly rare for major hurricanes to form, but that's not to say that they never happen in this time of year or even in November. We've had 18 named storms in the Atlantic, which is way above average, and we may be looking at a possible 19th named storm right now. This tropical energy is projected to form into a tropical depression in the next day or two, and all it would need is a little bit more strength to become a tropical storm and receive a name. So we will be keeping an eye out for you here at 49 News. Moving on to the overnight forecast, temperatures will fall into the low 40s, which is typical for this time of year. But definitely be prepared to layer up if you plan on going out tonight. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I definitely have. The days are getting shorter. Tomorrow, the sun won't rise until 7:17 a.m. and it will set by 6:18 p.m. We still have a few weekends left until we turn our clocks back and lose an hour of sunlight during the evening, so let's savor the evening sun while we can. We should have a pretty clear view of the sliver of moon that's out tonight, as well as the stars if you're far enough away from light pollution. Now, something that you may also be able to see are some meteors from the Orionid meteor shower. This meteor shower comes through every fall, and we are just about at its peak. The greatest number of meteors passing through will be this weekend on the nights of October 21st and the 22nd. So if the clouds end up clearing out, make sure to take a glance up at the sky. Unfortunately, it may not be as clear over the weekend as we'd hope. Starting off with tomorrow, though, a nice and warm and fairly sunny day, the best day for the next week for sure. However, Friday morning, we are looking at a chance of some showers, and they kind of linger around for all of Friday and into Saturday. The temperatures are slowly dropping over the next 5 days, and we could see that gradual decline of temperatures. However, the rain moves out by Sunday, and we should have a clear night on Sunday to be able to see those meteor showers. Monday is expected to be sunny and bright, but it's lacking on the warmth, only a high of 56. But I'm hopeful that these temperatures will climb back up again because fall is always full of temperature swings and no complaints there. That's all for your forecast and weather updates this week. I'm Laura Daly.
Prosecutors in northern New Jersey have announced the arrest in Bear, Delaware in regards to a man linked to a child kidnapping last month. According to investigators, the man met the 11-year-old on Roblox. She was reported missing from her Wayne, New Jersey home on September 10th and was later found in Bear. Newcastle County Police arrested Darius Mathowich the same day. Prosecutors say the girl was taken without the knowledge or consent of her parents. Autumn has arrived, and with that comes all things fall. With every new season comes new fashion trends. Grace McKenna covers what the latest fashion trends are in all things fall fashion.
Fall is here, and that means it's time to bundle up. With fall weather comes fall fashion. Here at Delaware, I'm starting to see tons of flannels and jackets. Rooted on Maine has all your fall needs and cozy jackets to get you into the fall spirit. I asked Melena Riceley, a student here, to share her take on fall fashion.
So this season, I've definitely been seeing those Uggs Tasman slippers with the red. I've been seeing that a lot everywhere, especially with maybe like wide leg sweatpants or the baggy jeans, where I feel like last year I didn't see that all that often. So that's another trend that I'm very excited for, and I also really enjoy.
In addition, I asked Melena about some trend forecasting.
I feel like are going to get a little bit more popular this season. I'm thinking definitely like more oversized, full-length shirts and like chunky sweaters and sweatshirts rather than the typical cropped that we normally have been seeing the past couple years. I feel like are definitely going to get a lot more trendy and in style as the seasons start to change.
Gear up and get ready to rock your favorite new trends this fall season. From 49 News, I'm Grace McKenna.
Former Delaware Girl Scout troop treasurer Kelly Raub has been charged with felony theft. She was the treasurer for a troop in Frankfort, Delaware from January 2018 to November of 2022 and cashed over $12,000 in fraudulent checks. Homecoming is a tradition celebrated at universities across the country. The University of Delaware uses Spirit Day as a key part of its homecoming tradition. Ryan Mink has the story.
Homecoming for the University of Delaware is a time for students to take time away from the stresses of class and celebrate their school. One of the ways Delaware celebrates homecoming is with Spirit Day. During homecoming week, the university hosts a celebration on the green and sets up the area with lawn games, snacks, music, giveaways, and even an opportunity to sign your class banner. Students and staff coming to and from class had the chance to enjoy the festivities. A variety of stands were located throughout the green, and one particular stand wants students to get energized.
We're just trying to get a little bit of movement into everyone's day. So there's little things like lunges, jumping jacks, squats, all that stuff, just to get people moving.
While other stands are focusing on helping others.
We're educating students, faculty, and staff, alumni, anybody in the Brewhen family that HenFunder is available to them as a crowdfunding platform. And to watch out for Giving Tuesday, because that's when a lot of these clubs, projects, research organizations are doing a lot of incredible fundraising for their causes.
Though Spirit Day is a great way to kick back and relax, how does it work with homecoming weekend?
I think Spirit Day is really exciting, especially with homecoming and people coming back and trying to see how everything's changed since they've been here. So I think it's really exciting to see past and present members of UD all coming.
Even alumni love to celebrate.
Celebrate homecoming weekend by going to the alumni tailgate.
Spirit Day is a great way to celebrate homecoming weekend. Be ready next year for Spirit Day to celebrate yourself and the University of Delaware. From 49 News, I'm Ryan Mink.
Welcome back for the fun and fabulous updates happening in the world of entertainment. Last show, we had a lot to cover in the realm of movies, alongside lots of talk surrounding Taylor Swift. Combining those two things, it'd be hard not to talk about the ever so popular Eras Tour film that hit the theaters last Friday. As predicted, the film is generating lots of buzz. It has already made $96 million in the box office in the US and Canada alone. According to AMC, it took less than 24 hours for the concert film to shatter AMC's US record for the highest ticket sales revenue during a single day in their 103-year history. However, if shaking it off at the cinema isn't really your thing, there are still plenty of releases to look forward to. Pretty soon, we'll be able to watch the infamous Five Nights at Freddy's movie, The Marvels, and The Killers of the Flower Moon is already making headlines. One company that is no stranger to producing box office hits is starting their 100-year celebration this month. While the official anniversary was on October 16th, Disney is commencing their 100 years since Walt and his brother Roy first founded the company. The ever-so-magical celebration of a century was commemorated with a special short released on Disney Plus called Once Upon a Studio. The 9-minute short featured a 40 original voice guests, such as Jodie Benson, Idina Menzel, and even reprise recordings from Robin Williams. It also captured a group photo showcasing all 543 Disney characters to sum up the monumental history of fan favorites. The concert experience just got a whole lot more cinematic too. This month, the Las Vegas Sphere venue officially debuted with a concert by U2 to christen the building. The $2.3 billion project sits east of the Strip, but it's pretty hard to miss. Measuring 366 feet tall and 516 feet wide, the Sphere is covered in LED screens and projects various images. Their latest fall video is a giant jack-o'-lantern display. On the inside, the same LED screens cover the whole landscape, illuminating the room in immersive pictures, taking the concert experience to a whole new level. While tickets are quite pricey, apparently the venue also offers state-of-the-art sound produced by thousands of speakers across the structure. With stars like Paul McCartney, Oprah, Snoop Dogg, and Jeff Bezos all showing up for the premiere, it had to be an amazing show. Now, to entertain us in our favorite UD sports, who knows, maybe Madonna will end up stopping at the venue for her upcoming tour. Despite health concerns, she's back on the road again for her 2024 with her Celebration World Tour. On the topic of controversial celebrities, Pete Davidson hosted the premiere of the 49th Saturday Night Live season, returning alongside the entire cast from last season. Pete poked fun at himself with a spoof of I'm Just Ken from the Barbie movie and was joined by Ice Spice as a musical guest. With the Writer Guild of America off of their strike, new production of the episodes is back in business. Former One Direction star Liam Payne is back in the news, however, won't be on the roads anytime soon. Last February, Payne was given a speeding citation after driving 43 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Despite writing a letter apologizing to the court and originally being sentenced to pay the fines associated with the citation, he was banned from driving for 6 months in the UK. Luckily, some younger stars, like Drake's son, have more promising futures ahead of them. Adonis, everyone's new favorite nepotism baby, is only 6 years old and has his new song, My Man Freestyle, out with some artists such as Sophie Broussard, singing from the soul about playing on his iPad, breaking his iPad, saying hi to his dad, and playing basketball. The debut song is quite the sonnet. Other major drops coming soon are new albums from the Rolling Stones, of course, Taylor Swift's 1989 Taylor's Version, Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2, and Rockstar from Miss Queen Dolly Parton. Halloween is only a few days away, which means it's crunch time to get together your costumes, buy your candy, and plan out all your final spooky details. I'm personally extremely excited to see what costumes are going to be most popular roaming the streets. Luckily, we don't have to wait long for the sneak peek. Google released a top 10 list of which costumes are the 2023 hits. Unsurprisingly, with a splash of pink to top the charts, number 1 is Barbie. Following the icon is a princess, Spider-Man, a witch, fairy, Wednesday Addams, dinosaur, cowboy, ninja, and finally a bunny. If your Halloween plans fall through and you need a little drive-through trick-or-treating, McDonald's is bringing back their iconic Boo Buckets. The classic themed pails are sure to bring back some nostalgic memories for the season. And according to data from CandyStore.com, Delaware's favorite Halloween treat is Sour Patch Kids. However, if M&Ms are more your speed, you may benefit from the M&M Halloween Rescue Squad. Partnering with GoPuff, Mars is offering free delivery of Mars candy on Halloween night if you happen to run out. Whether it's because you had too many trick-or-treaters or because you ate too many pieces before the night even began, Mars is to rescue and promises delivery in less than an hour. Now, to entertain us even more with some sports is our sport reporter, Ryan Mink.
Thank you, Casey. Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Mink, and welcome back to the sports segment. It was a rushing attack for the Blue Hens in a 21-6 homecoming win against North Carolina A&T. The offense rushed for over 300 yards, with Kyron Cumby and Marcus Yarns each rushing for 100 yards. It was just as dominant on the other side of the ball as the defense held A&T to under 200 total yards. Jackson Taylor led the defense with a game-high 15 tackles and also added a sack and 4 tackle for losses. His performance was good enough to name him CAA Defensive Player of the Week. With the win, the Blue Hens moved to a 5-1 record overall on the season, and the Blue Hens head out on the road for each of their next 2 weekends for a pair of CAA contests. Delaware will first travel to Hampton on Saturday, October 21st for a 2 p.m. contest. The University of Delaware's men's soccer team defeated Hofstra for the first time since 2014 on Saturday night. Richard Manoff and TJ Hastings each recorded a goal in the win. It was a tight 1-1 game until the 64th minute when Hastings hit a miraculous back post shot to give the Hens the lead. The defense held its ground with Adam Vick making 6 saves to secure the win. Delaware returns to action next Saturday with a conference matchup at UNCW. The University of Delaware's women's soccer program dropped a conference game against Hofstra by a score of 1-0 on Sunday. Goalkeeper Caleb Burns racked up 3 saves and only allowed 1 goal, but the Hens could only record 2 shots on goal. The Blue Hens' overall record drops to 4-5-7, And with 2 games to go, the Blue Hens are 6 points out of a conference tournament spot. And the road to a tournament spot starts with Hampton tomorrow at 7 p.m. The field hockey team fell to Temple University 2-0 Sunday afternoon on the road. Each team recorded 5 shots on goal, but only Temple's found the back of the net. Delaware field hockey returns to action on Friday, October 20th, as the Blue Hens return to Philadelphia for a CAA matchup with the Drexel Dragons, with game time set for 4 p.m. University of Delaware volleyball team defeated Stony Brook in both matches this past weekend. The team has now won 5 straight games, which is the longest winning streak currently in the CAA, and now sits behind just 1 game behind Townsend for first place in the conference standings. Kyra Johnson was a standout in both matches, which earned her CAA Defensive Player of the Week. Johnson led the conference with 16 total blocks during Delaware's 2 wins over Stony Brook, including 13 alone on Sunday. Her 13 blocks were tied for the 4th most in program history and the most by a Blue Hen since 2012. Delaware returns home after having played 4 consecutive road games to host Hofstra on October 21st and October 22nd. That's all for sports. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. No matter the team, UD athletes continue to put their best foot forward when it comes to making a difference in their community. Mike Maluzzi has the story.
At the intersection of Student Athlete Mental Health Awareness Week and the University of Delaware's Parents Weekend, student athletes from around campus came together to continue the conversation about mental illness and take a step in the right direction.
We believe that mental health is health, and we believe that the mental health of our student athletes not only makes them better humans, but better athletes, so it helps us win.
Friday, October 6th marked the 2nd annual Blue Hens Walk for Mental Health. The event was organized by Delaware Athletics and Helinski's Hope, a foundation focused on raising awareness for the mental health of student athletes. The first strides made on the mile-long walk took place at Whitney Athletic Center, then continued down South College Avenue, and finally ended at Warner Hall, the university's well-being center. The 2-hour event aims to destigmatize mental illness for student athletes, who can often feel overwhelmed on campus.
As student athletes, it can be really easy to just have our identity be our sport, but there's so much more to us than just our sport and our athletics. We are people, we are human, and it's really important to reflect on the good characteristics about our personalities and ourselves outside of our sport as well.
An event like this is only possible through the outstanding efforts of everyone involved. Whether they be students, parents, staff, or anyone in between, each new face brings an inspiring new reason to walk.
I walk to show my support and to raise the awareness and to spread love.
I walk because mental health is important to me, it's important to our students, it's important to the well-being of our campus community.
I walk to raise awareness around mental health and just so to let other student athletes know that it's not always going to be easy, but as long as you take the right steps and use your resources and reach out to the people close to you, it will all be okay.
The 2023 Blue Hens Walk for Mental Health concluded with a gathering on the South Green to listen to personal stories from fellow students and staff. Moving forward, it seems UD Athletics is committed to improving the mental health of our Blue Hen community, one step at a time. For 49 News, I'm Mike Malazzi.
Yeah.
Pepper X has scorched its way into the record books as the world's new hottest pepper. Guinness World Records announced Monday that Ed Curie, the pepper expert who crossbred and grew Pepper X, broke the record for the new hottest pepper on Earth. Curie previously held the record for over a decade with the well-known Carolina Reaper. Pepper X was rated with an average of 2.6 million Scoville heat units, surpassing the Carolina Reaper average of 1.3 million Scoville heat units. Curie is already working on his next potential record-breaking pepper, according to Guinness World Records. A man was left in shock after receiving a $1.4 million speeding ticket in Savannah, Georgia this past week. The man received this fine after driving 90 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour speed limit. What the man didn't know was the fine was just a placeholder that was generated by the software used by the local court. The Georgia man will appear in court in December, where a judge will determine the actual fine. Thousands of drugstores are closing, such as Rite Aid, as it filed for bankruptcy this past Sunday. Rite Aid will reportedly close around 400 to 500 of its approximately 2,200 stores. CVS announced plans to close around 900 stores by 2024. These closings are partly due to competition from Amazon and Walmart. The loss of these pharmacies hugely impact lower-income households and neighborhoods. That's all we have for you tonight on 49 News. Make sure to tune in for our next show on November 8th.
And be sure to follow us on social media at 49 News. It's been a pleasure being your host tonight. I'm Serafina Carollo.
And I'm Mike Malazzi. From all of us here, have a good night and stay safe.